أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله والصلاة والسلام على خير خلق ونور عرش أفضل الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيبنا وسيدنا وشفيعنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتاب المجيد وقوله الحق وهو أصدق الصادقين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله نزل أحسن الحديث كتابا متشابها مثانية تقشعر منه جلود الذين يخشون ربهم ثم تلين جلودهم وقلوبهم إلى ذكر الله ذلك هدى الله يهدي به من يشاء ومن يضلل الله فما له من هاد. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. All praise belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for granting us this life. As I mentioned yesterday in the introduction of these series of lectures, inshallah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants us the strength to understand and the wisdom to appreciate His infinite mercy. For our existence is entirely due to His mercy and no other reason. Allah is not compelled to do anything. It is not out of compulsion that Allah has created, nor did Allah create us to entertain Himself in sport, to try to put us through trials and tribulations, because Allah is not of such a being. Allah is above this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is infinitely merciful, and therefore He deemed it out of His mercy our existence. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also, when He creates us, He is reasonable, just, wise, mighty, and therefore our pathway of existence has to have a process, a methodology, a purpose, a reason. And therefore Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us to test us. You see? As we say in so many surahs, in Surah Al-Dahr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ, for example, هَلَ تَعْلَى الْإِنسَانِ حِينٌ مِنَ الدَّهْرِ لَمْ يَكُنْ شَيْئًا مَذْكُورًا إِنَّا خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِن نُطْفَةٍ أَمْشَاجٍ نَبْتَلِيهِ, to test us, made us out of a clot to test us. Allah says, الَّذِي خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. He created death and life to test which of you is best in deeds. These transactions of trials upon us, which is who is the best in deed, is not the reason we were created. The ayah where Allah says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسِ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, this ayah also does not imply that we were created to worship Allah. We were not created to worship Allah. We were created because of Allah's mercy. But once you exist, there is no other way but to worship Allah, because He is the source of my existence. So Allah is not in need of ibadah, but His rahmah supersedes. That's why He says, كَتَبَ عَلَى نَفْسِ الرَّحْمَةِ. Allah has made obligatory upon Himself rahmah, and therefore the driving force for our existence is rahmah. As a result of this rahmah, Allah has blessed us with intelligence, and this intelligence has the capacity to absorb knowledge, but it has the capacity to use knowledge and make sense out of it and draw greater pictures. And the highest order of the capacity of insan, humankind, is the ability to take knowledge to predict the future. Being able to see beyond the present, to be able to see beyond the curtain, the ability to describe غيبة. الذين يؤمنون بالغيب. See, ذلك الكتاب, Allah says in Surah Baqarah, Alif Lam Mim, ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون. But the first thing is, who are the muttaqeen? Who are the God-conscious ones? Who are the ones who are aware of Allah's presence? Who are the ones who are aware of Allah's purpose and design? Who are the ones who understand relatively the great presence of Allah? For none of us can comprehend the enormous mercy and presence of Allah. He said, when such a being has understood this great mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you take this knowledge and you tie it and you take it towards this level of God consciousness where you understand the future, you understand the past, and you understand the present. And ghaiba, the unseen, has the highest value system in the human race. Under any intelligent system, you'll find that which is unseen is superior to the seen. Ironically, those who disbelieve in God argue against the unseen, insisting that it must be seen, whereas that same human being will put the greatest value in the unseen. It's an irony of the human race, that we will hire predictors of Wall Street as to what stock I should buy for tomorrow's gains, but that same individual will argue that God cannot be seen in the tangible, therefore I don't accept it. Yet his whole life is valued on the unseen. That we put the greatest value in the unseen, not the seen. Because if I was to tell you what happened yesterday in the stock market, you wouldn't pay me a dime, because the person says, it's past, what good is it? It's already seen, it's accessible, it's what's not seen. So the hikmah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants us, the wisdom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants us, is through this acquisition of knowledge. As the Prophet says, utlub al-ilm min al-mahd ila al-lahd, acquire knowledge from the cradle to the grave, that this knowledge allows me to build my understanding towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why Allah in the Quran says, أَفَلَا يَعْقِلُونَ, don't you have a mind? Meaning Allah is saying to me, I gave you this mind, why are you not using it? I gave you this ability, you can reach me, why aren't you using it? Why are you using your mind for things that take you away from Allah? Why don't you use your mind to take you towards me, for I am your source of existence? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has gifted us with the container called aql, the potential to learn, and then the potential of hikmah. يُؤْتِ الْحِكْمَةَ مَنْ يَشَاءُ وَمَنْ يُؤْتَ الْحِكْمَةَ فَقَدْ أُوتِيَ خَيْرًا كَثِيرًا. Allah gives wisdom to who He wills, and whoever is given it, He has given it much good. خَيْرًا كَثِيرًا. This خَيْرًا كَثِيرًا, when Allah says, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا لُقْمَانَ الْحِكْمَةِ, we indeed gave Luqman hikmah. Hikmah is that ability to tie the pieces of the puzzle and to make sense and to take direction and clarify. So in this blessed month of Ramadan, if I break it down into its components, which is what is needed for us, that when we appreciate what Allah has given us, then we have to chart our lives in that direction to say that Allah, you are so merciful in all the facets of my examination that I have no option but to submit to you. وَمَا لِيَ لَا أَعْبُدُ الَّذِي فَطَرَنِي وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. See? What reason do I have not to worship you? وَمَا لِيَ لَا أَعْبُدُ الَّذِي. This is that Habib Najjar saying, for what reason do I have not to worship you? That he becomes a martyr because of his comments in a community that was reckless against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is a believer who has put the reason in life and say, I understand the value of life. My life is very short. My period is short. Even my teenage years are very short. When I look at teenagers in the early 20s, they're in the prime of their lives. They're just beginning to bud. They're beautiful flowers. When I look at a 20-year-old, 18-year-old, 17-year-old, you look at them and say, subhanAllah, such elegance, such beauty, right? The skin, the physical ability, their ability to compete in most difficult sports. But when you really go deep into the mind of this person, it's a world of ironies, honestly, contradictions. That when you see a 16, 17-year-old, they possess outward beauty, but inward it's very shallow. They're just beginning to understand the meaning of life. And in fact, you see many of the teenagers usually break out on their faces, they have pimples and so on. It's because they're so stressed. And of course, the chemistry is just beginning to change now. So they're going through this identity crisis and they're trying to figure out the true meaning of life. And all their little escapades lead them many a times to harmful results or disappointments. But deep in the mind of that child, you'd say, wow, with that beauty that you possess, you should be so firm in your ways because you're possessing something others don't have. Yet you find a lot of uncertainty in them. Very, very easy to be swept away. Very shallow. There's no firmness. And the irony is that as you grow older and all your experiments have now led you to understand the meaning of life, the outer beauty has begun to fade. And the inner beauty begins to set, but it's not visible outwardly. That by the time you realize the true value of life, you look in the mirror, Allah says, get ready, it's time for you to come back. Subhanallah. Right? Allah alladhi khalaqakum min da'fin thumma ja'ala min ba'di da'fin quwwa thumma ja'ala min ba'di quwwatin da'fun wa shayba. Subhanallah. Look, we make you weak, then we make you strong with strength, then we make you weak again and old. يَخْلُقُ مَا يَشَاءُ. Allah creates as He wills. So, it's such a profound lesson for us to take in life, that if we can put our finger on that pulse and say, this is my life, what am I going to do with it now? What choices will I make? What judgments will I pass? When life comes towards me and I have to make some critical choices that will decide my destiny for the future, what choices will I make that will elevate my status and my family's status for tomorrow? Or if I make a foolish choice today, which can lead me in the ditch tomorrow, it'll make it harder for me to get out, and I may be scarred forever. How about that? So that reflection is in this blessed month of Ramadan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to slow our engines, reverse your engines, detoxify, stop. This is like Sabbath. Sabbath that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordained on the Bani Israeli. It was because they were too much into takathur. Alhaakum at-takathur. They were into excessive pursuits of the world. Material, the greed was just excessive. There's just no end in sight. And Allah says, stop. You cannot do this. One day you will dedicate. No business. You must reflect. For life is but for reflection. Ramadan is these 30 days that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants us by which to reflect daily while we are fasting. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Alaykum salam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran wants us to reflect and look at the verses of the Quran. This is the one I recited. This is in Surah Al-Zumar, where verse number 23, Allahu nazzala ahsan al-hadith. This is in line with the same essence, that reflection, being reflective. And in this blessed month of Ramadan, when we are fasting, we are restricted from the normal transactions. We're restricted from indulging in, for example, our pursuits, lustful pursuits, for example, to spend time with our spouses, for example, our pursuit to feed the stomach. Allah says, hold it. Don't do this, don't do that. There are restrictions, and these restrictions create a sense of heightened alertness. It is the intent of Allah to heighten our sensitivities towards the purpose of life. Hence, even in Hajj, when a muhrim dons, when a person dons the ihram and they become muhrim, you'll find that certain things become forbidden for them, which are, to you and me, maybe benign issues, like killing an insect. But it's designed to heighten our alertness. And then Allah strips us of our vanity by saying, take away that vanity. Get to the source and the core of humanity, that you're all one and the same. يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, you're all just one, male, female, nations and tribes. لتعارفوا. It's exciting, it's full of varieties, but you're all the same. Look at us, we kill each other because of our skin color differences. We kill each other because of border differences. We kill each other because our cultures are different. Or we kill each other because we are richer versus the poor. We are constantly segmenting each other. Constant. Rather, we should be thinking of being one united body. So Allah takes us to Hajj and says, strip it. You forgot what you were there for. You thought you could come with your fanciness and your wealth. Strip it. You cannot even stitch your ihram. You cannot even put a pin in your ihram in the sense of a golden pin. Just tie the pin, yes, but